Hi, it's Pete here from Terribly Horrible. Now, I'm here to review a film which I expected so much from. I was excited about this, I'd heard great reviews about this. Some people are even saying it is the horror film of 2023. Wow, I was expecting great things. Now, what is the movie in question? The movie in question is Speak No Evil. It's a 2023 film by Christian Taffdrup. I don't know if I've just slaughtered his name, but that's how I think you say it. Anyway, is it a good movie? Is it a great movie? Is it a super fantastic movie? I was excited for this one, so I sat down and I watched it, and this is what I think. Now, the movie starts off in Italy. You have two families, average sort of people, two parents, one child. They get on just fine. Everything's rosy. They're having a great time. Bear in mind they've just met, so they're a little bit sort of still finding out who each other are. One of the family's son has a speech problem.
What?
Which you later find out why. I'm not going to try and spoil too much in this review. Basically, they become great friends, pretty much. They hit it off. Now they all go home, etc. A couple of weeks later, one family receives a letter from the other and says, come over, visit us. We had a great time. Come over for the long weekend. We'll have, some fun, some drinks, and, just have a generally good time. It'll be great for the kids to meet again, etc., etc., etc. So they go over, they visit this family. Things start off pretty well. There's little things are slightly odd, like the kids sleeping on the floor, blah blah blah. Nothing your alarm bells aren't really ringing there. Then slowly the parents' behaviour starts to change, of the little boy, this is the family that's hosting the stay of the other family, and generally things happen that make you feel a little bit uncertain. Alarm bells start ringing and you start to think, oh, this is odd, and then it escalates. Now, the family that's come to stay start to feel pretty uncomfortable, and it gets to the point where they turn around and they have to say something. And then things develop more and more and more and more until you get to the end point where you get subjected to this truly, I'd say it's brutal ending, but for you sort of horror fanatics out there, I don't think it's going to blow you away shocking wise. You're not going to vomit into a bag or anything like that. And then it ends. So what are my thoughts on this film? Well, like I say, I was expecting so much from this film. I mean, to be fair, technically, it's a good looking movie. There's a lot of very nice arty shots. It's filmed very nicely. Visually, it's great to look at. The sound score is quite foreboding. Script-wise, this is where my problems with this film begin. Script-wise, some of it is truly unbelievable. Some of the reactions from the family that are being subjected to these awkward situations are just, well, unbelievable. Either this guy is like the politest guy on the planet, or he's just out of touch with realism. I suppose, or morality. I don't know. I don't know. The reactions of the family are particularly unbelievable. In my opinion, this family had several chances to actually leave. At one point, and I'm not going to tell you why, but they do leave, and then they have to turn back because someone's forgotten something, and it's just truly ridiculous. You just wouldn't. The film's full of plot holes. It's very slow burn, so the setup's quite nice. To be fair, the setup's quite nice. I did enjoy the setup. I thought, oh, this looks interesting. The first act is okay. Again, it's quite slow, but it's a build up. I think the idea is to edge you into this sort of more and more uncomfortable situation, which it does quite effectively to start with. But then when the reaction starts to become ridiculous, you just start to think to yourself, no, this is losing credibility. And by the time you get to the end of the film, you feel like you've been subjected to sort of, I don't know, let's say an hour of build-up, which in the beginning is quite effective. But you get to the middle and you kind of, if you can get over the plot holes and the stupid reactions, you're then subjected to this pretty shocking final act, in which I think is fine. I'm down. I'm down with slow burn films. I'm fine with slow burn films, as long as you get a reward at the end. You get some sort of explanation or reasoning to why you've watched this whole 60 minutes up until this point. Now, at this point, the film really fails. You're subjected to an act which is quite nasty, but you're not told why. There's no explanation. You're just left to sort of think, well, what the hell was that all about? And then at the very end, again, you're subjected to another act, which is kind of, again, it's quite brutal, but you're kind of left with nothing. This film leaves you with nothing. Now, I don't know if that was the point of the film. Were we supposed to be subjected to this unbelievable reactions from these people to then just be left with nothing? Was the whole point of the film just to be left unsatisfied and void? I didn't really get it. Again, I can understand endings that don't conclude films, but this just goes nowhere. The whole final act, in my opinion, was quite unnecessary, just because there was no reasoning to why, or explanation to why. It was just thrown in there. Shock, maybe it's one of those films. Oh, you've got to hear about it. You've got to see it. The ending's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, the ending is crazy, but completely unsatisfying. Completely leaves you just with more questions, and just leaves you feel like you've been subjected to 60 minutes of nothing. My conclusion is, it starts well, the premise is pretty good, nothing new or particularly original, but it leaves you empty, unsatisfied. If you're a gorehound, don't even bother. The ending, yeah, okay, it's pretty gory, but it's not going to blow you away. If you like slow burn films, which generally I quite do, you're going to find or feel like, in my opinion, that you've wasted your time. It's a good looking film. Like I say, the sound score works really well. The people, particularly the visiting family, are absolutely uncredible in their behaviour. I didn't really like this film. I suppose you probably can tell that. But if you fancy it, go and have a look for yourself. It's on Shudder. You may like it. For me, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Just because it's technically it's a well-made film. Like I say, there's a lot of beautiful cinematography. But yeah, for me, it after all the hype, it really didn't live up to what I was expecting. Go check it out. It's on Shudder. If you want to see and hear more from me, subscribe to my channel, hit a like, leave some comments with your opinions on this movie, because I'd love to hear them, because for me it was a very sort of just didn't really happen. I felt like I got nowhere and it went nowhere. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think about this. Like I say, click, subscribe, comment, let me know. Until next time, adios.